Okay, today we have my Chinese elm. I'm trimming it because it's taking up too much room, and the branches I want to trim have started getting woody, so they're good to trim back. Needs to be trimmed anyways, it's just it's in the way. They're getting, a lot of them are growing very vigorously. Also doing this to balance out the vigor of the tree too. Should have been. Okay, now this is my curvy one. The other one's not growing as vigorous as this one, but I have some that aren't growing much at all here. This one died off here. This one's growing a little less vigorously. So this will help balance out. Hopefully these will start growing more, and these will, I mean, these have been growing so vigorously they've even branched out. You can see they've branched out with new branches, which some of them will be gone because we're going to be trimming them back quite short, most of them. Let's start with this one. We'll go back to, I think I'll go back to this one. That one's facing out this way. This back one, we're going to trim back to here, to this one shooting that way. This one we are going to take back to here. This one we're gonna take off altogether because it's kind of just growing underneath off of this one anyway, so it's not in a good place. This one I will trim back to this facing one, which has already got a branch growing out, so that's kind of good. And then I'm trying to decide on this last one. This one is going to be part of the trunk, so I'm not sure how far I want it. It's a continuation of the trunk going up. I don't think I want to grow it. I don't want to chop it off quite as short as the other one, so I think we'll chop that one off to here. This one we'll definitely leave. I'm trying to decide on this one if I want to leave it or not. This one's grown out pretty good. This one's thickened up, so I think I will take this off. Take it off to that branch there. And as you can, and then there's this back one here. We'll take that off to here. And I am cutting for ramification on this because we are starting to develop branches, because I pretty much got the trunk except for up here, and I'm not growing the top of the apex of the tree much bigger anyways. We're pretty much decent. This is just to start the ramification of the apex. So this will be the new apex here. And I think that'll do. This one will stay because it hasn't grown a lot. And now this branch, I would love it if we could get something to grow more down this way. I think it'd be a better position for it than here, and then just keep the back branch that comes out with it, and then chop this branch off. But because it's a little close to this one, I think it would balance it out a little better with these two to be more here, and it should be more here at the outside of the curve. But I don't have anything there, so I can't do much about it. But I would love it if something would ever back bud. We will be growing that out and eventually getting rid of this if possible. But as it goes right now, this is what we got to work with, and we will rotate it one last time, show you the whole thing. and that will be it. Okay, here's my Bougainvillea. As you can see, it's awful tall, but I'm just letting this continue to grow to help thicken up the base of it. I'm not going to make this a big tree. I'm thinking about maybe like this, maybe at the height of it. This will probably be cut back somewhere, I don't know, probably around in here. This died off. I gotta cut this off because this died off. I don't know why it died off, but it died off. Sometimes branches do that. I think the basic structure that I got going in the bottom is good. I got some more buds coming up. I had ended up taking off all the old leaves because they were starting to look terrible when I brought them in. So I partially, the structure of it's pretty good so far. I'm just gonna let this grow some more. It's not impeding anything where I'm growing it. I'm just gonna let it grow tall to help thicken up the base for the time being, and then we'll figure out where we'll chop it back someday. I just wired it up. It is wired, but I just wired it up to, it was kind of flopping over a little bit, so I put it up. I wired it up so it'd stay in place. We're going to just, like I said, do a little bit of trimming on this. I'm going to clean this up here. And then we're going to chop this off because it died. Yeah, that is dead. Clean that up. I'm hoping something down here will eventually bud out, but some of these are dead. But it, you know, never know. It still might bud out somewhere. I'll rotate it for you. And like last year, my leaves are kind of wrinkly. I'm not wrinkly, wavy, but they're better than last year. So hopefully whatever that was from is getting better. They're just, when I got them, they had really nice leaves. When I got it, I had it inside. Of course, when I bought it, it was winter. It was starting to get winter. It was all instantly inside. It was in a material that was not a soil that was not draining well, and I was it hurt it and was starting to lose all its leaves and not do well, so I had replanted it last winter. And when the leaves came back, they were really, I mean, this one's a little wavy, but these were really wavy last year, more like this one up here. So that's an improvement. And then this is in a bigger pot than it was in last winter, because over the summer, when it was doing good, I repotted it into a bigger pot, give it more room to grow. So there's that. Okay, here's my ficus. I had trimmed this at the end of the summer, beginning of the fall, and really clipped it back quite a bit. And a month later in the winter, I had decided I wanted this branch here to come over and kind of fill this area in over here. It was kind of up a little more and I wanted to bring it down, so I wired it. And it's just started. It was kind of a slow start to get it to start budding, but it just started putting out new leaves recently, and some of the older ones are falling off, which is not uncommon in the winter. Some of the leaves might fall off. I had some falling off earlier when I first brought it in. I will rotate it here. I just wanted to show you this one, how it was doing since we last showed it. We got some little sprouts that I don't want in here, and I still gotta try to get in here and carve this out a little bit so it looks better where I cut off the big branch at one time. I've kind of got 3 branches almost coming in the same place. This went a little lower. These 2 are coming out of the same place. But I do gotta, like I said, I gotta clean this up a little bit, carve it out a little bit, clean it up some eventually. Get rid of this, we don't need this. Now, another problem one is this one. This branch goes straight before it ever divides, or it divides here, back here, but it goes fairly straight for a while. Now there's 2 things I could do. I could just leave it and live with it for now and hope something back buds. Or I could cut it back and the chances are something will back bud, because every one of these that I cut back without leaves before eventually budded back. This one here is budded back. What else did I have? This budded back. It's back budded. I know there was a few that I had left. This is just starting the back bud. I had taken most of the leaves off it except for this one here. So the chances are if I did that it would back bud. There's a place here where there's a branch that would most likely back bud, and that actually might be a better idea to do. Just because this, like I said, this is so straight, where the other side, the one goes this way and then it turns, so it's not really straight. But this does not look great even from the front. I don't know, I don't like it. I would like it better if maybe something grew out, like I said, where there was a branch, something popped here and come up this way. It would fill this area in better than back here. But I don't know. It's one of those things you gotta kind of sometimes take a chance. The chances are if I did cut it back here and it died off, something would bud back here, so it wouldn't be a total loss. The ficus is bud back really easy. So there's another little branch I don't need. So I'm not too worried if I did it. So I think I may do that. See, this would be a good spot to cut it before and let it bud back here. Because as I said before that, or I could cut it back here, keep this, and then hope this buds back still. This does not, this part is, like I said, it just keeps going straight. This doesn't do me as good as something that came out in here would do. This would do better. This would fill in this spot a little better. Just like I'm hoping this stuff will eventually grow in, fill this spot. And we're looking for a canopy here and then a canopy up here for this tree. So I think I will try the second option. I will leave this branch for now and cut it back there. And then we'll hope this will branch back here. But we could also, see, now this is also too tall. This is going too long before it divides. So I think I'll take a chance again and just cut that back. And we'll just hope stuff buds back from here, because the tree's in good shape. It's budding back. It's growing, so I'll take the chance on that and see if hopefully these 2 branches will the stuff will bud back. It should with a ficus. Like I said, I mean, might have some dieback here, and this will, I left some room here for dieback, but we should be pretty good. I'm gonna cut this back just to clean that up. Where was the other one? I think, yeah, I'm gonna clean this one up. Clean those 2 up. So there we have that now. And this tree is very much still in progress. And as I've told you before, it's I don't know. I may leave it that way. It actually doesn't look too bad off, but when I buried it, when I planted it back in, I accidentally didn't watch what I was doing, and because the bulbous root was a little off center, that got, I mean, off of not being completely flat, it was a little angled. This became a little angled, but starting to think I kind of like that, where it comes up a little to the side and then goes up straight. Kind of works for me. What I don't like is this is starting to get, I gotta really watch. I don't want anything growing up here, because this is a little, this is getting close to being reverse taper in here. There is no good taper in this part of the branch, and it almost gets a little thick up here where there was a lot of branches growing. So I'm really trying to keep everything down from growing up in here, anywhere in here. And some of this would help if I eventually clean these up maybe a little better, where I cut off branches, recut them and get them down a little bit, because they kind of scarred over. And well, I didn't cut off some of these were already cut off when I got it, but it does almost, it's almost starting to look a little reverse taper up in here, so I have to watch there. And then, like I said, again, we have to remove some of the stuff up in here, which I don't need to do it right this second, but I do got to get in there and eventually do that. So that's that tree. So if you enjoyed, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and see you next time.